You know that feeling when you step into a place that's supposed to be yours, but everything screams you don't belong? That's exactly what hit me. Nate Callahan, 36, former Army vet, standing in the kitchen of a lake house I'd just inherited from my dad, Tom Callahan, in Willow Creek, Michigan, not even an hour after pulling up with a moving truck, diesel fumes still thick in the air. This woman, Vivian Hartwell, strutting like she owns my soul, pink blazer screaming boardroom, not backwoods, flanked by two goons with barely hidden pistols, sneering, "Your dad's barely in the ground, and you think you could just barge into my lake community?" Her perfume was choking, her voice sharper than a switchblade, and outside, 3 sheriff's deputies were itching to cuff me for trespassing in my own damn property. I'm a guy who's seen combat, 3 tours in Iraq, so my gut's screaming danger, but I'm also trying to wrap my head around how inheriting a house turned into a life-or-death standoff in under 40 minutes. Vivian's got this cold, fake smile, pearls glinting like she's weaponizing them, and she leans in, hissing, "Sign this place over to the HOA, or you'll end up like your old man 6 feet under." She brags about moving 39 shipments through my dock like it's just business, like bodies in the lake are no big deal. What she doesn't know, there's a tiny red light blinking in the corner of the ceiling, a camera my dad hid 3 years ago, streaming every word straight to a federal server. Oh, and one more thing, me dad owned 60% of her precious HOA, and those shipments she's so proud of, not drugs, people. Living, breathing people sold like livestock. Let me back up. 6 weeks earlier, my dad died cancer, they said. We hadn't spoken in 12 years, not since I screamed at him at Mom's funeral, called him weak for not saving her, told him I was done with him. He vanished from my life, or so I thought, until his lawyer called, voice shaky, saying, "Nate, your dad left you everything, including something he died for." I didn't ask enough questions, too stunned he'd left me anything at all. The key to this house felt heavy, like it carried ghosts. Willow Creek was gorgeous, 300 feet of shimmering lakefront, a private dock, a modest cabin hiding secrets. Dust coated everything inside, except fresh boot prints, size 10, leading to the basement. Someone had been here, someone who knew Dad was gone before it hit the papers. I'd barely carried in a box of Mom's old photos when Vivian's white Cadillac screeched into my driveway, followed by 2 black SUVs, tinted windows, screaming trouble. She marched up my porch, heels stabbing the wood, and snapped, "You're trespassing. These papers are fake. You've got 5 minutes before I call the cops." I showed her the deed, the will, my iron-clad, but she didn't even look, just smirked and dialed 911, loud enough for me to hear. "This is Vivian Hartwell, Willow Creek HOA president. We've got an armed intruder, military-trained, threatening to kill me. Send SWAT." I'm standing there, holding Mom's photos, no gun, no threats, just a guy trying to move in, and she's painting me as a terrorist. The sirens came fast, too fast. Deputy Ryan Kessler pulled up, hand on his holster, eyes flicking to Vivian like she's his boss. 3 more cruisers rolled in. Overkill for a trespassing call. Kessler's voice shook not adrenaline, fear. "Hands up!" he barked, but when he cuffed me, he whispered, "She owns everyone. Just go along." They tore through my house, tossing boxes, breaking frames, and found a rusted lockbox in the basement. Vivian's eyes lit up, then narrowed. She wanted that box. Kessler hesitated, but she leaned in, voice low, "Your mom's rehab isn't cheap, Ryan. Don't make me rethink that funding." He took the box, mouthing sorry as he stuffed it in his cruiser. At the sheriff's station, the charges kept shifting: trespassing, breaking and entering, even suspected cartel ties because of my Army record. It was a circus, but I called the one person I trusted, Sarah Vega, ex-JAG lawyer, who'd saved my ass in Iraq when Brass tried to pin a bad call on me. "Nate, what did you do?" She laughed, but her tone sharpened when I said, "Inherited a house." Apparently, that's a felony. For hours later, she had me out, tearing through their flimsy case like tissue paper. But my house was trash floorboards pried up, furniture smashed. They were hunting something. The basement changed everything. It wasn't just a basement, it was Dad's war room. Monitors showed camera feeds from every angle of the property, recording gear that screamed FBI, and a wall plastered with photos, strings tying it all to Vivian. Boats at 2 a.m., people, kids included, herded off my dock into vans. Her sons barking orders, cartel types exchanging cash. A journal lay open, Dad's handwriting. Vivian runs trafficking through HOA docks. $40,000 per shipment, twice weekly. 80 runs a year for 100 victims. Agent Torres, ICE, has the rest. If I die, it's murder, Nate. Finish this. My hand shook. He'd known he was dying, not just from cancer arsenic, 300% above lethal, slipped into HOA vitamins Vivian delivered weekly. He took them to keep his cover, to save strangers while I spent a decade hating him. I broke down, right there, surrounded by his fight. All those years, I thought he'd abandoned me. But he was a hero, dying alone to stop monsters. A video on a flash drive sealed it, Dad. Gaunt, eyes fierce. Nate, I failed your mom, failed you, but I couldn't walk away from this. They're selling kids. I let Vivian poison me to keep documenting. I'm proud of you, son. Finish this. Semper Fi. You've been a Marine too? Something I never knew. We'd fought the same war, worlds apart. Agent Torres called, calm, federal. Your dad told me you'd answer this phone. Vivian's desperate. She knows he had evidence, but not where. That lockbox? A decoy. There's 15 more hidden. Get her to confess, Nate. I met Mrs. Lena Chun, my neighbor, that night, slipping into her house through the back door. Her daughter, Mia, had seen kids unloaded from boats, reported it. But Vivian threatened her family, showing photos of a missing couple of Wilson's proof of what happens to snitches. Dad bought into the HOA to protect Lena's family, but now I was the target. Vivian turned up the heat, bogus fines for long grass, fake sewage complaints, fire marshal nonsense, $250 in a day. Text from an unknown number. Give up. I recorded it all, building my own evidence. At 3 a.m., I watched boats hit the HOA shore, 30 people, kids among them, herded into vans. I got close, filming faces, Vivian's sons, cartel muscle, but she wasn't there. Kessler caught me, gun drawn, tears in his eyes. My mom's dying, Nate. Vivian pays for her care. I'm trapped. I told him, choose a side tomorrow, or you're done. The HOA meeting was her endgame. Vivian planned to label me unstable, lock me in a psych ward, stage a suicide. The old community center, isolated by the lake, was packed, locals scared, cartel goons glaring. Vivian, in a black suit like a mob boss, started her spiel. Nate Callahan's a danger, PTSD violent. I cut her off, playing her kitchen rant over speaker. Sign the house over, or you're dead. We've moved 39 shipments. One more body's nothing. The room gasped. Her face drained. That's fake, she screamed, but I held up Dad's journal, then the HOA papers. My dad owns 60% of this HOA. Every move you've made is illegal. She snapped, slamming the table. Your dad deserved it. $40,000 a shipment, for $1 million a year. He wanted to ruin it for nobodies who don't matter. The crowd froze, residents horrified, her goons reaching for guns. Agent Torres burst in, badge up. Vivian Hartwell, you're done trafficking, murder, racketeering. Agents swarmed, cuffing her, her sons, 19 others. She spat as they dragged her past. Your dad died screaming. I smiled. He died a hero. You'll die in a cell. The aftermath was chaos news vans, headlines. HOA queen ran trafficking empire. Vivian got life, died in prison. Her son, same. Kessler testified, got 3 years, no badge. Dad's $4 million in seized funds went to victims. The HOA was scrapped, replaced by a fair council. The lake's now Tom Callahan Memorial Lake, a plaque honoring him. I stayed, married Sarah, fostered a kid Elena, saved from one of those boats. She calls me Dad now, her laughter filling the dock where horrors once unfolded. Dad's last journal entry, hours before he died. Nate will come. He'll end this. I go to your mom now, duty done. Semper Fi. We did it, Dad. Your fight saved 400 souls, sparked laws the Tom Callahan Act so no HOA can hide evil again. I wear his watch, 15 minutes fast, and every sunrise I feel him in the waves, the loons, the peace we won. Evil doesn't get the last we're not here. What would you do if you found out your community was hiding monsters? Ever misjudge someone, only to learn they were fighting a war you couldn't see? Drop a comment. Share your story. I am reading everyone.